Hello, welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video, we're going to have a quick look at some new Epic Encounter models, not the release, the models aren't out yet, they're on pre-order, coming out in a few days, for Village of the Goblin Chief and Swamp of the Hydra. This is part of the ongoing Epic Encounters series for Dungeons & Dragons, or just some really damn cool models. I've already got the Kobold and Dragon and Orc and Frost Giants unboxings and reviews and things like that on the channel, so hopefully I'm going to pick these ones up. Now, these ones have been on pre-order for a fair while. I think it's almost 2 months now, and with this time of year, some videos had to get pushed back and out of the way, and this is one of them. But I really wanted to come back to it because I'm a big fan of Steamforged games designs. The models are very nice, lots of detail, lots and lots of character in it, which is what I really like about them. And one thing that I've really enjoyed so far, particularly from the Orcs and the Frost Giant set, is they're taking a traditional Dungeons & Dragons fantasy idea, such as Orcs, and throwing them in a slightly different, I guess, setting, you could say, a different environment. So with Orcs, they did Ice Orcs. They're set in a northern, I guess, icy region, mountainous, snowy, icy area. One of them even rides a polar bear. You know, that's what you're getting. And with the goblins, they've gone for a swamp goblin thing. And yeah, I like the term swamp goblin. We've all met some swamp goblins in our life. So you get some very, very interesting models. Lots of variation on the goblin theme. So they're not quite your traditional Warhammer goblins, and not even traditional, I guess, Dungeons and Dragons idea of goblins or fantasy idea of goblins. It's much more along the Pathfinder idea of what goblins look like, with really big exaggerated features such as eyes and especially the ears. They're a bit more wild and untamed and a lot more variation in them. So normally with goblins, for Warhammer goblins, the features are very similar, like giant big noses, pointy ears, but not much variation in that. In this set, we have much more a variation of different eyes, different ear shapes and sizes, and things like that. So we've got some that are really flat-eared, really thin-eared with giant eyes, and then you have another goblin that has more like chunky, I guess, cauliflower ears with big ear holes in them. So I do like the variation. It's also almost a negative as well, where sometimes you do want a bit more unified look within them. So let's have a look through generally what you get in the set. So I've been throwing up some images as I've been talking. Let's actually jump in and have a look. So in this set, this is a treetop adventure, which is quite interesting. The Village of the Goblin Chief. This includes 20 models. They're all pre-assembled models, so you can just get them out and start playing with them straight away in a very funky green color. I really like the color. And it also comes with an adventure. So in the box, like I said, you get 20 detailed goblin minis, double-sided game mat, adventure book with monster stats. So it's an adventure in itself. A very cool idea, something that I'm surprised other companies haven't done before, where you have a box of minis and a full adventure, everything you need other than dice and the game rules. So I'm very much a fan. So let's have a look through some of these models, a bit more detail. We have I don't even know how to describe this one, because I don't know what the model names are. We don't have that info yet, but we'll probably get that as soon as it comes out in a couple of days. This is like a wild one with some crazy spear going on, running around with some frogs. So, you know, just like Warhammer goblins, they're a bit loony, a bit loopy, and they're probably been, you know, spending a bit too much time with frogs. So just like so much character in here. I really do like it. Even with this one here, he has almost a frog head. Is he wearing a frog? Or like a lizard kind of skin? Very cool. We have an archer. I actually really like this model. I really do. Has like dreads. You don't really think about hair with goblins. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't, but dreads, kind of cool. And they're all sort of on a scenic basis as well, so it's very nicely tied in. We got some fighters with some makeshift kind of sword blade things. And this guy looks, I can't tell if he's chunky or he's wearing some armor. I'd love to get my hands on the models just to have a little bit more of a look. It'd be very cool. We got some frog riders with the frogs wearing wooden armor. I love it. And this guy here seems to be wearing a helmet itself. Just like so much character in these goblins. And that's why I really love goblins, because you have so much character. Then I think this model here is the Goblin Chief themselves, with lots of dreads, a wooden mask, a staff, I guess, with a skull on it with some weird concoction. Again, very characterful, lots of detail in it. These are going to be pretty tiny when you compare them to the kobold models, which were tiny things. I think this might be slightly bigger, but there's so much detail packed in for the size that they are. We also have some kind of weird, I guess it's a snail with overgrown stuff on it, but with trunks and vines and tentacles coming out holding some kind of crystals. Very weird. I kind of want to know more. Like, I'm really interested in the design work that's gone into these models. I mean, honestly, the work on top reminds me of broccoli, but I'm thinking that's just probably moss. But yeah, lots of little detail in there. We got another angle of the Frog Rider. I think this is a different one. I think the other Frog Rider was an archer, and this one is a swordsman, a swordsperson. Do goblins have gender in D&D? I don't actually know. They do. They definitely do. I'm just remembering playing Dungeons and Dragons, like, yeah, they do. Another one, again, we can see like the crazy looks on their faces. Again, it's not even like the ears and the mouths and the nose that are slightly different. It's also the mouths, the whole structure of the face and the body themselves. So there's almost like this variation, different species of goblins themselves, which I think should be explored more. You don't usually get that kind of exploration outside of, I guess, more human-like races in Dungeons and Dragons, like humans, elves, dwarves to an extent, but even then, not really. And goblins, it just seems like this. Why is a goblin just a goblin? Why wouldn't they have their own racial variations? So that'd be interesting. Yeah, so there we go. 20 models in there. Some very cool, interesting models. Looks like you get 4 of the Frog Riders, 1 snail, the chieftain, a couple of the big boys with the big blades, some spears, a few archers and things like that. So very interesting model. And we also have Swamp of the Hydra. So this is, if you haven't seen the releases before, you'll have sort of a release of lower level models, and then you'll have associated with that running alongside is like a monster. So in the original release, we had kobolds, had like 20 kobolds, and then a red dragon, which I love that model. Then we had the ice orcs, which had a whole bunch of models in the box, and then the frost giant, which is better than the red dragon from the kobold and dragon set. Really is. In this case, we got the goblins and then the Hydra. So the Hydra itself has like a very much a we'll go swampy woodland grove type feel. So I don't know how big this actually is. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty similar to the size of the dragon. The base looks around the right size. The dragon was pretty big because of the wings, but the body size of the Hydra might be a bit bigger. Very, very interesting model. Looks like it's got a lot of vines growing on it, a lot of moss growing on it too along its back and its tail. And it's like perching up on a tree trunk. Very interesting model. Love the, I guess, coming out of the top of the head, the antlers of tree, horns of tree, that kind of thing. Yeah, very interesting. I like it. So you'll get an adventure in this, and usually it's just like a battle encounter. You got to get into its lair and fight it. And it ties in with the goblin set, so you will get tokens for the goblins in this set, and you can fight with that as well. So I really love this set. I think the price is really good. So the Swamp of the Hydra, so the Hydra model itself, if you just consider the model, you're getting it for $40 US, and with the Village of the Goblin Chief, $50 for like 20 minis. And this is US prices as well, so it will vary in different locations. But I'm a big fan of this this set, of this whole system that Steamforged games are releasing with Epic Encounters. It's just like an adventure in a box that you can run through in a night. I love it. And it has the rules also how to scale it up for different levels, which really involves just ramping up the damage and the difficulty on different like ability checks and things like that. So if you are interested in it, I've got links directly to Steamforged games. It comes out on pre-order. Well, it's up for pre-order now and releasing on the 25th of January. So that's a few days from now. Yeah, I'll see if I can find them at a discount anyway. If I can't, that's fine. Pick them up. I'm going to try and get hold of these models because I am keen to collect this entire set. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Talked about it for about 10 minutes. Like I said, I'm a big fan of this series, and eventually I will get to do a painting guide for all the models so far, but that's up in the schedule. So yeah, let me know. And if you do like these kind of videos, definitely let me know if you want to see some stuff outside of Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. I'm always interested in doing other different tabletop games, and particularly miniatures. And Steamforged Gauge really do a lot of the top tier modeling, I think. So like I said, if you do enjoy these videos, please do subscribe, smash that like button into oblivion, and leave a comment about whatever your favorite gobbo is, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.